Now at 5, the investigation continues right now into a suspicious fire in New Bedford.
And new tonight, we're hearing from an eyewitness to the fire that was first breaking on Eyewitness News this morning. The intense flames broke out in the same building that arson investigators were at hours earlier.
Eyewitness News reporter Susan Campbell has been working the story all day. She has the latest developments from New Bedford with the Southeastern Massachusetts Mobile Newsroom.
Eyewitnesses say the building went up quickly, and they say the flames and heat were intense.
Did they tell you guys to get out of your house?
An eyewitness captured this cell phone video as flames leapt from the 3rd floor of this building on Nelson Street. 3 families forced from their homes after an attempted arson and a fire all in the same night.
I just moved there. Everything brand new in that house.
New Bedford's deputy fire chief tells us nobody was home when the fire started.
All the residents were evacuated earlier in the night. So we had an attempted arson at this property.
The deputy chief says an accelerant sniffing dog did detect a possible accelerant in the building after the attempted arson. Firefighters had utilities cut to the building and doused the hallway to try to dilute the possible accelerant.
We caught like 10-15 people upstairs. Called the cops, told them that they was pouring, they had them come upstairs and check the 3rd floor. And they told us that there was gas all over the 3rd floor.
Just a few hours later, this.
The flames were so high.
Robert Smith lives next door. His sister woke him up and told him to get out of the house.
I said, out the window.
And you went out the window?
Yes.
Why did you go out the window?
Because I couldn't get out the door.
There was just too much heat.
Yeah, it was too much heat.
Now the attempted arson and fire are under investigation.
The police and the state fire marshal are actively investigating what happened here, and they'll get down to the bottom of it. They have some leads and that they're going to pursue very aggressively.
The Red Cross responded here to the scene to help people who were affected by the fire. Coming up new at 6, hear from a man who lives next door who says firefighters used his apartment to help battle the flames. In New Bedford with the Southeastern Massachusetts Mobile Newsroom, Susan Campbell, Eyewitness News.
Now we're working the latest developments on a suspicious fire. The flames broke out at this triple-decker just hours after arson investigators left the building. And new at 6, we're talking to the next-door neighbor who says firefighters used his apartment to help fight the flames. From the Southeastern Massachusetts Mobile Newsroom, Eyewitness News reporter Susan Campbell is in New Bedford.
That eyewitness lives up there on the 3rd floor. He says firefighters were in his apartment trying to douse the flames next door. He says his place is a mess right now, but he's thankful the fire didn't spread to his home. Matthew Lovell saw these flames next door and got out of his own house just in case.
To be honest, I was worried about getting my kid to a nice warm spot, so I left.
Matthew tells us his car was smashed by debris from the fire, and he says firefighters used his 3rd floor apartment to attack the flames and keep the fire from spreading.
They ripped everything apart and got water everywhere, and it's just not good. Windows are smashed. There's not much you can do. Obviously, I'm happy that, me and my son and the dog and my sister and her family is all set, and everybody else is all good.
The deputy fire chief tells us nobody was hurt in the fire, but he says it is suspicious. He tells us firefighters responded to an attempted arson at the same home earlier in the evening. An accelerant sniffing dog detected a possible accelerant in the building. Firefighters had utilities cut and then doused the hallway to try to dilute the possible accelerant. A few hours later, flames were destroying the building.
The way the house went up, it was unbelievable.
Both the attempted arson and fire are under investigation.
They have some leads and that they're going to pursue very aggressively.
The Red Cross responded here to the scene to help the people who were affected by the fire. In New Bedford with the Southeastern Massachusetts Mobile Newsroom, Susan Campbell, Eyewitness News.